Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm Dan Haggerty. This is In Depth. And as always, I want to hear your thoughts on these stories. Email me at dan@WRAL.com because tonight we are talking about guns, UNC, and Tim Moore. The House Speaker weighed in on the two gun-related lockdowns in the first 3 weeks of school at UNC, which is a gun-free campus. And he thinks that that fact is contributing to the problem. This was his take on it earlier today.
You're not just going to snap your fingers and get rid of guns. That's not reality. Criminals are going to have guns. And the best deterrent against a criminal with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
Now, let's keep in mind here, it is a felony to have a gun on the campus at UNC. That applies to everyone except for police officers. I mean, even if you legally purchased a gun, had the thorough background check, you got a concealed carry permit, you aced the test to get it, it still does not matter. If you are packing on campus, it's a felony. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole good guy with a gun, bad guy with a gun debate, perhaps another night, but I would like to elaborate on something else that Moore said, that, quote, criminals are going to have guns. You see, in 2004, the government, they partnered with Johns Hopkins and they interviewed inmates. And they asked them where they got the guns that they used in their crimes. And between 60 and 65% admitted they used illegal guns. Only 13% purchased the guns legally from a store or a pawn shop. The University of Chicago, they did a similar study. They interviewed 70 inmates who all used guns in their crimes, and only 2 of them out of the 70 got them from a store. So in that case, Moore is exactly right. Criminals have proven that they can find a gun illegally, making the next question, where do they get them? Well, earlier this year, the ATF released the most thorough report that they have released on gun crimes in the last 20 years and found that 54% of gun crimes are committed with guns that were once purchased legally before then changing hands, sometimes several times. And between 2017 and 2021, more than 1 million legally purchased guns were stolen from private citizens. So, yes, bad guys will have guns, but according to the data, often they're getting them from the good guys. So what's the move? Student activists, they want lawmakers to make it harder for everyone to buy a gun. They marched on the Raleigh Capitol in this week. We were covering it earlier before everything went down at UNC. Meanwhile, students on campus are looking at the university. They want leadership there to do more. Here's a conversation I had with a freshman about feeling safe at UNC.
It's up to them to rebuild it for us so we can have a safe experience and feel safe learning. But at the end of the day, I feel like that's all we really can do. Just trust that they're going to take the appropriate measures so that next time this doesn't happen.
Is there a sense of hopelessness in that, though? Because what are those appropriate measures? It is illegal to have a gun on the campus, so that's already a felony. What steps need to be taken? Is it clear backpacks? Is it metal detectors? Do people need to be searched when they go into buildings? What would make you feel as though the university was taking the right steps?
That's the thing. I have absolutely no idea, which is what I feel like makes it so scary, and it kind of makes you wonder, well, what is it going to happen next? Because if I can't think of it, maybe they're also not thinking of it. So it kind of almost feels like a lose-lose situation.
And that's sort of the rub with this thing. How do we balance safety with our freedoms, in this case, to reasonably move about a public campus? Here's the balance they found in Johnston County, the schools there this year. Weapons detection systems. They also have armed officers at the entrance, kids emptying their bags, holding their computers over their heads, and getting searched anytime that software pings something, which many times is just a metal water bottle, not a gun or a weapon. Innocent kids being searched by police at school. They got the idea from schools in Charlotte that were seeing tons of success. Schools where they found guns on campus the year before, and then they found 0 guns after the tech was installed. But keep in mind, these systems are also going into schools that have no history of guns or shootings or even violence. What's the cost of that with our kids? Fortifying a place that they've always seen as safe, like it's a jail. What will be their impression of reasonable safety measures when we're done raising them? I know I just threw a ton at you. This is a really big topic, one of the biggest topics. Let's explore it together. Tell me your thoughts, ask questions, be curious here. Tell me what's on your mind, and we'll go in depth.